As you can see by the title, Starry-Night Skies has been what's been more recently the name given to this painting on the second floor of the castle. And yes, it's that painting. You know you did it, I did it, everyone did it. Everyone wanted to jump into this painting. I bet you expressed confusion when it didn't work. I bet you tried many times regardless. I thought that you believed there must be some way to get in here. I know I did all of that, and I was very confused and tried many times to get in here and thought that there has to be some way to access this and that there has to be stars in here, and like I assumed that this had to be a way that you just had to go, and I'm definitely not the only one. So what exactly is the deal with this painting? Why did we all have the lust to go inside it? Why did we all think so surely that we had to be able to go inside here? Well, I'll try to explain it now. This painting is the only one alongside another painting that has a unique texture to it, as in it's not a broken painting that shares a texture with one that's already a level. However, it might also be the only one like this. Let me explain. You see, also located on the second floor is this tiny little painting. This has been more recently referred to as the sun and has its own MIPS hole. But yes, this is the other painting that we saw and that we probably tried getting into. However, unlike Starry-Night Skies, you could argue that you kind of do enter a level with this. You see, not only is it the same texture used for the wing cap level that you look up at, but you know those two pits that you drop to on the third floor for Rainbow Ride in the bonus cloud level? I believe it's called Mario Over the Sky or something like that, or Mario Over the Rainbow. But yes, if you look into those pits, I could be wrong, but I believe so, that if you're able to see down them, whether by breaking the camera or something, you actually do see the same texture again. So in a way, you could say that this is almost like the portrait for Rainbow Ride, and that you do go in it. This keeps Starry-Night Skies still unique, because it's a texture that's not used anywhere else for a level. Yes, it's the third floor texture on the wall. However, that's not a level, and I didn't even really notice it was that at first for the longest time, and if you're playing the game normally for the first time, then you absolutely won't know it for the first time because you see this portrait before you see the third floor. It almost feels like the third floor is using this texture and not the other way around. So, yeah, and unlike the sun too, which is a little painting just like randomly mixing up the others, this one is isolated, bigger, and is next to this big red staircase. This gives it a much more important feeling, and it's kind of no wonder we all thought we had to jump into this, and it just really makes you think, what were they thinking of the placement of this, and why isn't there anything in it? Surely, this can't all be just completely on accident, right? Like, it's just way too coincidental. Well, before we get into that, let me just quickly explain what some people believe the actual level of Starry-Night Skies to be. I personally always imagine a big level. Big level is the most common standpoint that everybody just seems to, again, like, mimetically share, that nobody has to, like, really, like, share or say anything to anyone else to kind of feel this. It's just another one of those many things in Mario 64 that we all just simultaneously felt. But yes, I imagine that with the dark blue skybox with the yellow stars, and I imagine, like, dark green grass plains. Like, it's a nighttime level, but it's not dark per se. It's just a very nice feeling, like those special Star Road Mario World levels, and I just feel like the level in general kind of has like a Super Nintendo Mario feel to it, and you know, there's like a large green area, and then you jump across a little gap to get to yet another large like section of land that has more of the green grass. Maybe the unused flower weather effect is around there too. And there's like a hill or mountain that you have to platform on and jump on, and the wall textures that aren't the grass have that classic blue Mario Mountain look to them, which you also kind of see on the portrait here. Other popular reports are similar to that, with a similar skybox, albeit more of a purple texture to the ground that you stand on. However, the level itself isn't what's important for this video. What's important is all of those things I just described before, all of that, and what exactly the deal is with them, and why they would make this exactly. Well, you see, It's probably no secret by now that Super Mario 64 in development had some very big ambitions, and like this also kind of crisscrosses into like all of like the, like almost call it like personalization, early build stuff, and all of those fun theories, because there's kind of a point to it too. But yes, it's clear that they wanted to do more of this game and had to cut a lot, as seen in actual like data dumps and leaks and stuff like that. But there's probably way more stuff like that that's just like undocumented and doesn't have any proof, which is why like all that stuff was so fun to speculate on. And heck, maybe some of you who were lucky enough to have a theoretical personal copy saw some of those level details I described earlier, or any of this cut content. I mean, after all, it just adds to the whole entire mysterious field to Super Mario 64. And the second floor in general just has so many anomalies like this, the sun painting, and the mirror room, and the tiny huge island room with the mid-sized island and stuff like that. It just all adds that empty, mysterious, there has to be something more to this game feel that everybody loves and shares their stories with, and claims that they did see something more to it. And yeah, all those cut beta assets that we can theorize about just is a part of that. And I definitely feel like with this level's design and placement of the portrait, that this probably was meant to be a level at some point. And I'm probably not the only one to talk about this before. Maybe Swanky Box even did at some point before. And even if there's no real proof to it, there's still definitely stuff about this game that we don't know everything about outside of mimetic stuff. And I definitely feel like that because of all that stuff, they definitely want you to jump into this painting at some point, and that's why we all feel the urge to do it, because you were actually meant to at some point. And yeah, it's too bad that the sequel didn't happen, because maybe they could have done that. They just couldn't fit everything in, and that tiny little cartridge at the time is all what they had was just a mere 8 megabytes, and that size later increased for future games on the console. So yes, at least there's mods to help accomplish that. So in conclusion, I definitely do think that everything about this painting and the lust to jump inside it was purely intentional, because they wanted to add something to it but just couldn't get to it. But again, maybe some of you with personalized copies did see it, ooh. But yes, I feel like this painting just perfectly encapsulates everything around that in Super Mario 64. Like this and maybe the Alice Real statue, but this especially to an official reality degree. Like, they wanted you to have this big grand adventure of a game that would just capture your mind and stay with you forever. And even if there wasn't something physical to see in it, I do feel like that this painting in the end achieved that mission, because we still all wondered about this and were in awe by it and just wanted to do stuff with it. So yeah, that's a nice little note to end it on, is that even if it didn't become a level in the end, it still managed to do its job. So yes, I feel like that's also a good way to end the series on this. It's a soft finale. I mean, like, this is probably like the last one, and like in terms of a long since anything else is like purely on impulse, I'll just say it more in a comment. But yeah, I mean, this like just perfectly captures the feel of all of that beta and personalization stuff, and missing out on things, and having our own stories and experiences that all inspire this series. So why not end it on this? Thank you for watching.